Yeah. So after the break, after the lunch break, we originally we had a program which called for group activities, but since we were such a small group, we found it more useful to sit together in a small group with everybody who took part in the session, around 5 to 6 people. And we talked about creative mechanisms for peace in the society. And, creative mechanisms for peace building. And we came up with several suggestions. It was very interesting to have this dialogue, because in the group we had members from Asia, Africa, US and Norway. And many of the topics we discussed circled around cultural connecting, making people come together with different ideas, and creating meeting spaces and meeting areas for people to gather where they can exchange their messages and perform secular activities. Some of these activities could involve sports, there could be game activities, and also watching videos and movies. So we also came into the topic of discussing cafes. One of the girls, there was a girl from Norway who knew about this concept where you had a cafe where they were giving I think it was food like soup to disadvantaged citizens or people who are in general poor, and her example involved also because it was the initial example had was conducted by a group that also did some missionaries. So she said that it would be better to just have a cafe which offered the food and have information available about critical thinking and science, so that people could make use of that information if they wanted it, but not push it onto them. I am just referring to some notes here, so I hope I got that right. And then somebody else mentioned that this is quite closely linked to what people call social entrepreneurship. So instead of just setting up just one cafe where one person is responsible, you can educate people and give them the skills and necessary knowledge, so that more people can create cafes which circle around creating meeting places for secular peace activities. And somebody mentioned having a sort of like a billboard where on one side people could post notes about useful things they wanted to exchange or sell, and on the other side there could be some information about humanism and peace, because sometimes these stands of information are tampered with, and if there's something useful on one side, maybe people wouldn't want to tamper it. We talked about more about clubs, help, assistance, and then we also talked about the concept of human library. Has anybody heard about the human library? Yeah. There's a concept where somebody can, instead of going to the library and borrowing a book about a topic, they can go and meet maybe a group of 10 to 20 people who are invited because it could be a police officer, or it could be somebody who does various things. It could be people of different trades and with different interests and hobbies. So when people go to the human library, they borrow a person, and then they can sit down and have a dialogue with the person and learn something new. And there was also two concepts which were mentioned, and I'm just going to excuse myself while I write two words here. I don't have the other microphone, so just bear with me. So there are two concepts. One of them is called a bar camp, and a bar camp is somehow like a conference. It takes place during the course of 1 or 2 days, and it's a very simple concept of organizing. The things which are required, is a venue, and in a bar camp you allow people to come with their laptops and their presentations, and in the morning there's a common session where everybody puts up a sticky note with their topic on a bulletin board, and then people can go around. Everybody who attends the bar camp can go around and vote for what topics they want to have presented. So it's a very democratic and social way of organizing a conference. And I also heard that they're doing this in the secular movements in the US. They're organizing something like this. So that's a good platform for bringing people together. And couch surfing is also something like a peace project, because it allows people to go around into a website to search for places to stay when they want to travel, and they can meet up with people who are locals in the city they're traveling to, and by making friends they can be more respectful about people with other interests and opinions. So we had a very good exchange of ideas, and we were able to cover quite a lot, even though we were such a small group for the session.
Thank you. So any questions from your